It was huge, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Meg was saying the same thing. You know, her pregnancy was rough too. So
Yeah.
yeah. But now things seem to be kind of getting easier on her. So hopefully it won't take you as long as it did her, though.
Yeah, it's coming slowly.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, so what I wanted to do with this is just to use this as a way to hold one another accountable, and then also to get tips and advice from one another too. I can imagine we're all going to share some really awesome little tidbits of information and nuggets that are working for us. So it's just, this is something that I feel can only help, and I also am always welcoming your feedback about how all this is going, because I know, for one thing, I want this to be the most valuable use of your time possible, because I know you guys are all busy. So if any time that you feel that this needs to go in a new direction, you need to do something better to perfect this, let me know, because like I said, I don't want to waste your guys' time each month. So basically, I'll get started. I'll just kind of share my little bit about my story, or what my why is, where I'm going from here, and what my goals are, so that you guys can help hold me accountable, and then see how I would like you guys to kind of share yourself. But let me make sure you have, okay, it's recording. So, you know, my story is I got started 5 years ago, never did anything with the business until about a year and a half in. And I started making up for lost time probably last year. Last year was my biggest boost within my business, and that's because all of the seeds I had planted, all of the awesome coaches that had joined, you know, like the year before, they started really taking off. They started having success, and because of that, you know, 2014 was huge for me, and 2014 was also huge for the simple fact that I also started really going to town with my Instagram. I utilized my Instagram so much that it helped to add over 125 people on my team last year alone, within about a year. So, you know, biggest takeaway that you could ever get from me is find one piece of social media and just run with it. Learn and do whatever the hell it is that you can to master it, and it will pay you back tenfold. And that's exactly what I did with Instagram. So Facebook, YouTube, any of that. Find one source and just rock that as much as you possibly can. But anyway, so getting back to where I was going, my why when I got started was I wanted freedom. I wanted the freedom to be able to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I didn't want to pursue school anymore. I wanted to drop out. I wanted to make a name for myself. And so that was my biggest why, is being able to be free and not have to worry about school or anything like that. And I feel I have accomplished that. Or at least I'm like to the point where it's so close. I can taste it. I can feel it. It's right there. I have that kind of freedom now. And so my why has morphed into me getting on board as many gold ships as possible to show them, like, life is so good if you just do this business. If you have the passion in your heart to help other people, and you don't want to work a 9-to-5, you want to be your own boss, you want to make a name for yourself, this is the one way you can do it without having to get a bunch of schooling and doing a bunch of studying and all that stuff. So if I can share that with as many people as possible, that for me is fulfillment. I don't want to just help people lose weight. I want people to have financial freedom. So that's my why for doing this. Now my goal is I am qualifying 6-star in my first business center, thanks to Carolyn. And then in my second business center, I'm a 1-star. So I eventually, by the end of the year, 10-star in my first business center would be awesome. And then 2-star in my second business center, with me being 1-star in my diamond in my third business center is essentially what I want. So I need a good amount of diamonds to pop off, somewhere around 5. So I need about 5 diamonds to pop off before the end of the year. That would make me happy. And if my volume grows exponentially to the point where my volume is around 40,000 volume points a week, that would equate to about $4,000 that I'm making each week just from Team Cycle Bonus. So I'm looking to make that happen as well. So next one in line, Carolyn, if you could share, a little bit about your story and your why and your goals. Oh, here, let me unmute you. Okay, and you're good.
Yeah. Okay. When I signed up, I don't know if everyone knows, but I just signed up as a discount coach. I just wanted the Shakeology cheap when I was in college, and I couldn't afford it. But I knew that I needed to keep drinking it if I wanted to maintain the results that I had achieved. So I started doing that over the summer. I haven't been coaching for a full year yet. Like July 25th, I think, will be a full year. But I started to realize how big this could actually be. And it was just something that was kind of fun that I was doing. And then all of a sudden it just started to just grow, and people started coming to me for advice, and I was able to help them. And I realized how fulfilling it could be. And it was so fortunate for me that this happened, because at the same time I was in grad school, going to school for education. I graduated in May, and I have my teaching certificate, but I was going back to school for another year for my master's, and I was working in a kindergarten right now, and I have 10 days left. And I found out that it wasn't exactly all it was cracked up to be. It wasn't allowing me to live the life that I wanted to live. Every day, like every time I went to lunch, it was just people complaining about the school system and everything, how bad everything is. And it's such a negative environment, and I just didn't want to be in it anymore. So I started to really focus more on coaching than on my teaching job and on my grad classes. So then I dropped out of grad school, so I'm not finishing that right now. So I guess, what would you want, my ultimate goal, or my goal, like that was the next part?
Your goal, like right now. Yeah, right now, like your immediate goal or goal for the year.
Okay. Well, I have them written down right here. I want to be 2-star by July, but in order for that to happen, I have to get 2 people to diamond, and I have some that are close, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying. And I want to be 5-star elite by January 2016, because I want to be eligible for the I forgot what it's called, but we talked about it. The elite, like, there you go. What's it called? Like the retreat kind of thing.
Oh, leadership.
Leadership, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so by January 2016, yeah, I want to be 5-star by then. And then I want to be making like 1,000 a week by September. Like, I'm really going to push it this summer, because I have off. I'm not working anything else but this. So that's my goal for September. And then all the rest are a little far away from now. So is that what you're looking for?
That's good. That's great.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yep, I forgot to mention too, one of my goals, of course, is getting elite again. After being elite once, you fiend for it each year, because you know how amazing it is to be an elite coach. You get so many incentives. Beachbody gives you $500 a month in addition for being, an elite coach, which is incredible. All the perks is cool, but even though I want to be an elite coach, I want 5 people in my downline this year to be elite coaches. So, Carolyn, you're one of them. Yeah, you're one. And I know it'll happen for you. All right. Danny, your turn. Yep, here. Just unmuted, yeah.
Okay. You want my story first?
Sure.
I mean, it's been over a year, so probably everybody knows it. But I also started, I guess I said I started as a discount coach, but within like 2 weeks, I was kind of full blown into coaching. I had a really good start, so it kind of, and I'm like pretty competitive with myself, so my good start led me to like Success Club was non-negotiable from day one, and I'm like 16 months straight or something like that. So I just I set my standards pretty high for myself from the beginning, and I didn't really have an upline that a direct upline that was super helpful. So I mean, she tried, but she wasn't really into it even as much as I was. So I learned a lot from watching Kelly and April, and kind of just taught myself along the way. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. At first, I was just doing it for a little bit of extra income to help people and whatever. But now, the usual, everybody's original why. But now, honestly, I see part-time in my future. I see not working, much at all, or doing whatever I want with my schedule, which would probably be working PRN a couple days a week. I see that for the 5-year plan. I see much bigger things with it. And right now, nobody knows this really, but I have an interview on Wednesday, so for a different job, which is really exciting, but really freaking scary because I'm pregnant and I need health insurance, and a lot of things are hanging on the line right now. But if I can get this job, I'm hoping for 4 days a week instead of 5, and that would be huge for me. So, and the only reason I can even make that an option is because of Beachbody. So my story has changed a lot, and it's changing again, and it's taken me some time to grasp that my body's changing and my story's changing, and my transformation is going to be a little different this time around, but we're getting there and handling it. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
so go ahead.
Yeah, your goals.
Okay, so I actually wrote these down on the plane on the way home from Cancun. I want to be 2-star. Originally it was May 20th, but that didn't happen, so now it's the June 24th cutoff for Summit. It's 2-star. I have James is 1 emerald away from being diamond, so crossing my fingers tight that I can get him to at least diamond. And then I have another coach who is busting her ass to get there as well. And I know if anybody can do it, she can. So 2 stars looking pretty realistic for at least the next month or two, but the goal is by Summit, or by whatever that cutoff is, June 24th, I think it is. And then my end of the year goal is 5-star elite by the 31st of December. And then I want to get James to 2-star by the end of the year too, which is also, I think, pretty doable because he has a rock star coach under him that I know will be diamond probably in the next 3 months. And then my goal is to be making $1,000 a week. I was consistently making about half of that or more, and then I kind of got pregnant and had a rocky month, but I'm getting back there, and I slowly but surely everything's falling back into place. So by the end of the year, I want to double my income. And my goal is to be working 30 to 32 hours, 4 days a week by the time the baby's here. So if this job works out, that goal will be in the bag already. So we'll see. And then I also, one of my other goals was to set up a college fund for the baby that we're putting something in weekly from my Beachbody income. So that's it.
Awesome. I'm loving those goals. Good luck with that job interview. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's scary, but it kind of came at I don't know if it's the best time possible or the worst time possible.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, they're opening like a bigger clinic and they need help, but I have no idea what their time frame is or anything. So, I mean, they may tell me 6 months, they may tell me 2 weeks that they'd be ready for me. So everything's up in the air, but lots of fingers crossed and prayers Wednesday morning because I'm hoping for the best.
Awesome. I know it'll happen for you.
Thanks.
I'm confident. You're awesome. It'd be stupid
Thank
to
you.
have you. All right, cool. All right, Sarah, you are next, girlfriend. Let me mute Danny and unmute you. Okay, cool.
Hey guys. So my story basically starts in last September. I became a coach. I was working a retail job as a store manager for 12 years prior. And I didn't know what exactly it was going to give to me being a coach, but I knew that I wanted to help people, and I was very passionate about health and fitness, and remember sitting around talking to my friends and being like, if I could do something, the job of my dreams, it would be something in health and fitness and helping people become healthy and that kind of thing, but didn't really know where I was going to put that forward. So in November, my husband was offered a job in New Jersey. We were living in Pennsylvania. And basically, he gave me the out of my retail job that had sucked me in for 12 years. I worked that job in 2 states. And he gave me the out. He was like, this is your out. And give your notice. And my last day of working retail was last Black Friday. And he was like, once we move, which ended up not happening for an additional month, he's like, you have 3 weeks, enjoy your glory period, go nuts, like enjoy yourself, sleep in, do what you got to do. But 3 weeks and then you're out there and you got to find a job, because we could probably, make it a couple months, but just you got to start looking after 3 weeks. And I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, I don't want to do that at all. He was like, I don't care what you do. You could be a waitress. You could, just as long as you're getting out of the house and bringing in some money. And I was like, oh, my God. So he would be like, find any jobs today? Go look for any jobs today? And I would like tell him that I went looking, and I really didn't. I lied the whole time. And finally, he doesn't know that to this day. Finally, and that's when I really kicked it into gear with my business. So I technically started in September, but my business didn't really kick off until January. And I put every bit of my energy into it. I became Emerald almost right away, and then built up my team from there. And I became Diamond the end of April, I think. And my goal for the end of the year, and I'm pretty positive that I can do this, is to be 5-star also. And I have gold ships, which I'm really excited about. My team is super active, so I'm positive that, they'll get me there. And I want that more than anything. And not only for myself, but I want it for them. So I want them to be able to have the same freedom. Needless to say, I never found a job or never had to. Zach has let me, live this out. And I think that without him supporting me like that and allowing me to do that, he had kind of like the oh shit factor when I started making money and building my team and whatever. He was like, wow, can't believe this. This is really happening for you. So he's a driving force in that. And that's my big goal. He actually wants to build his own business, so I haven't really started building his much at all. He has a coach under him, but I haven't really started building his. So that's my goal, and I am working right now on a Push to Emerald group that Nikki Whiting from the Wake Up Call a couple months back, she talked about doing. So I'm actually recording videos for that now, because I believe that everybody's business starts when they hit Emerald. So that's my goal, is to get all of my team to Emerald. And that's pretty much it, I think, right now.
That's so cool. I love your story. That's so awesome that you didn't even have to go to work. You stopped just looking. You didn't really even put any effort into it because you knew that you would just do it. That's awesome.
I totally lied through my teeth. I even got dressed one day like I actually had gone out looking for a job, and I never did that.
That is awesome.
Sorry, Zach. That's the one time I've ever lied to you, but I never did that.
Oh, you're going to be sharing that story on stage someday, and he's going to find out right then and there.
Totally.
That's awesome. All right, cool. Thank you, Sarah. All right. Alexa, let's hear from you.
Sorry, I had to take that phone call. Just to recap, I'm just sharing a little bit about my story and my goals. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So, I got into Beachbody because I was engaged. I was in a really bad relationship, and I just felt horrible about myself. And I found Beachbody and got started with that, and did it as a hobby. I really liked it. And then as I got more into it and met everybody, I've tried to make it more and more viable as I can. Like Danny, I'm a physical therapist, work full-time. I'm the coordinator at my building, so I've gotten a lot of responsibility at work. And so I've built my business a little bit slower than most, but as long as I'm slow and steady, I'm fine with it, because my ultimate goal is when the time comes, I want to be able to stay at home with my kids. Physical therapy is a passion of mine, but at the same time, it freaking sucks because insurance and healthcare these days just aren't good. So my goal is to one day be full-time with this. I'm not sure exactly when that will be. I am not real ballsy, so I don't want to set a goal that I'm not going to be able to attain while I'm working full-time. Don't mean for that to sound negative, but 5 years from now, it's very lofty. Maybe that's the right word or not, but so 5 years, I would like to be full-time with Beachbody at home with my kids. And I'm just learning day by day, doing what I can, trying to work on my business and help my team to also advance in rank. I did have 4 emeralds, now I have 3, and I'm trying to work with them so that they can advance their business to diamond. My short-term goal, I would like to be 2-star diamond in 6 months. I think that's realistic for me, because I don't want to set it and not reach it, because I'll be upset with myself. That's pretty much it. I wasn't really prepared for that, so it's probably kind of scatterbrained, but
it totally works, Alexa. Okay, awesome. So you want to be 2-star by the end of, well, let's see, in 6 months. That will put you with a second business center. So have you thought about what the second business center could do for you? In terms of,
well, I'm sure it could do a lot, but yeah. I haven't really, I don't know, I guess I haven't really thought that far ahead.
Yeah. Think about that. I mean, envision that. When you have your second business center, that's when I started seeing a lot take off from my business, because then I was pulling in an additional $200 to $300 a week from my second business center. Mm-hmm. Before I didn't have that kind of cash. So if you were pulling in an additional $200 to $300 for your business, what would that do for you? Would that be putting you closer to even part-time?
Yeah. Yeah. It would. I think the thing about part-time at my job that scares me is losing benefits. I'm not married, I'm single, I'm on my own, so that is just a little scary for me to think about, not having benefits. But It definitely could. I could probably stretch 30 and still get my full-time benefits. So technically go part-time at my full-time job. Yeah, I could see that.
Don't let the idea of not having benefits paralyze you or scare you. Because I've been rolling with no benefits for a very long time now.
Oh my God. That the thought of that.
Yeah. Oh, I think you froze up. Or at least I can't hear you. I don't know. Can anybody else hear her? No? Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. Alexa, yeah, you cut off. We didn't hear anything you said.
Oh, I said, yeah, I said that kind of does freak me out a little bit, the thought of not having benefits. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe because I've always had them.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I had them until I was 26, and ever since, you know, I'm 28 now. I know some of you, the idea, yeah, it kind of terrifies the heck out of you, especially when you have families coming along the way. But with Beachbody, you know, it's possible. You can also get health benefits through Beachbody as well. They have plans, which I have yet to look into. I've just procrastinated and haven't actually signed up for healthcare. So I need to get on that. But yeah, don't let the idea of that paralyze you from, you know, pushing yourself to that next level, whether that be lessening the hours that you work or whatever, because I'm at the point where, I mean, I could take care of my medical bills if they came up. So that's the cool thing.
That's good to know, because honestly, I would love more time to work on Beachbody, because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, Danny knows, but if you work with geriatric people with dementia and you have to tell them the same thing 20 times and you have to scream because no one can hear you, and then you're running a therapy department, when I come, like, I need more time to be able to work on Beachbody, because that's why I have to build it so slowly, because there are times when I come home and I don't have it in me. So it would be nice to cut down and have more time to work on Beachbody for sure.
Yeah. Carolyn said it sounds like kindergarten.
Yes. I call it large drunk adults, large drunk children. That's what.
Yeah, I worked as a home health aide for quite a while, so I know how that can be. I was a home health aide to a woman with Alzheimer's for like 3 years.
It's so hard. It's draining.
It is. It's totally draining. She never knew who I was. Never. From the second I started working with her, yeah, and I had to raise my voice, and you feel bad because you don't want to be that person to raise your voice like that, but what else? You can't. You know, there's nothing else you can do for them to be able to hear you or comprehend, understand. It's crazy and sad. Anywho, I went off on a tangent. Hold on, let me see here. Jess just left. Hold on, Amy. We had somebody else who was on before you. It's 419 467. Is that you, Corey? Can you hop on right now? Hey, Corey?
Yep, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
All right, awesome.
Okay, so I've been a coach for 3 years. I had my 3-year on May 15th, and I started off just pretty much as a discount coach and kind of just stumbled my way through being very inconsistent for the first year and a half, I'd say. And then after I had my son Beckett and started with my weight loss journey again, I really kicked it into high gear and found my rhythm as far as being consistent. And hold on a second. No, sorry, we're meal prepping and we just got home and it's just kind of crazy. So he was asking me something for tomorrow. Once I started being really consistent, I started to see my business grow. It took me about 6 months and I hit diamond, and I've been diamond since February of last year. So I am definitely not the hare in this case. I am the turtle. I am slower than most, but I'm perfectly fine with that because I am very consistent. I keep steady in my goals, and I am a mommy of two that has a lot of responsibilities. And while I want this to be my full-time job and I want this to be a huge part of our life, it is a huge part of our life. Not that it already is a huge part of our life. I have to find that balance to still make time for my family and still working a full-time job and sports and everything else. So a little slower at pace, but very consistent. And I'm very excited to, I don't know, just the last 6 months or so, I would say, I'm seeing it happen. It's kind of crazy, but just finally starting to see everything unravel. It makes me kind of, it's just really exciting to see your dreams happen and things that you've been, when you start out at Emerald and, you know, you're like, oh yeah, I see so-and-so do it, and you know that it can be done, but when it actually starts to happen for yourself and huge things start to happen for your family, that wouldn't have been possible without this opportunity, it's pretty amazing. You know, not just for my husband and my health, you know, we're down 120 pounds combined. But we just bought our dream home. I mean, there's so many things happening for our family because of this opportunity. So it's pretty cool. And my goal is to be 2-star by Summit. PJ is very close to being a diamond. And one of my other coaches on my opposite leg is close as well. And I finally have a couple gold shifts instead of all discount coaches, which is really exciting for me and my team. And my husband, in the last, pretty much since our retreat, that did it for him, has been slowly but very consistently reaching out to people and starting to grow his business on his own. So that's kind of exciting that I'm not going to have to focus on 2 business centers. And I can focus on mine a little bit more, and he can do his. And my big, hairy, scary goal is to retire part-time. I probably will never retire completely because I work for my family and it's my other passion. But my goal is to retire part-time by 12/31/15.
Cool. Oh, Corey, it's so awesome to hear you talk about PJ. You know, after the retreat, he's all on board and he's contributing. I see him posting all the time now, which is awesome. It's so cool to see him.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah. I would say he's really excited. You know, he's not looking to do anything crazy, but he does have a goal of finding his own coach by Summit and, you know, a couple different things. So it's pretty cool to see that he's always been supportive, but it's kind of cool that he's seeing the vision too.
What do you think it was at the retreat that caused this light bulb, you think?
Honestly, I think it's just been a snowball effect of him going to all the events, because every time he goes to the event, he's a little bit more involved. He's a little bit more of a believer. He's a little bit more excited. When we went to the Coachtoberfest last year, he was super excited, but then just kind of didn't do much with it. And I don't know if it was just, actually, I know what it is. It was him seeing Meg's. I think being around the community of all of us and having such a great time with everybody, he loved that. But I honestly think that seeing Meg's numbers put him over the edge, and he was like, wow.
Yeah, when he saw how much
Meg, which I think we all were, because they're amazing. But
yeah, to be able to make like $12,000 a week is pretty freaking. I mean, that's just mind blowing. That kind of is ridiculous, but that's what's possible. That's what happens when you have some gold ships underneath you, and it's not unheard of.
Yeah, I think that seeing her comparison, what she's made over the last 5 years from year to year, and then put that in correlation to what I've made from year to year, I'm pretty much matching her. So it's like, he's like, wow. Like that, because he's like, you could be the next bracket this year. And I'm like, I will be the next bracket this year.
Oh yeah, that's the right attitude to have. Cool. Thanks, Corey.
Yeah.
Awesome. So cool to hear. Okay. Let's go with you, Amy, since you hopped back on board before Jess got back. So here, let me unmute you. Okay, awesome. Take it away.
Hey, so what are we doing? Telling our why? I was late.
Yeah, you're cool. So, like, your why mixed with your story, and then what your goals are.
Okay. So let's see. May was my 1 year as a coach, so that was exciting. And I started up, I was a customer first, obviously. I guess like a lot of us were. But I didn't do Shakeology in the beginning or anything because I just couldn't drink it because of stomach stuff. And so I did T25. And then at the end of T25, Brooke asked me to be a coach. And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool, except I just found out I have adrenal fatigue, and I was told not to, like, work out. So I didn't do anything for, like, 8 months. And then out of the blue, I just messaged her, and I was like, okay, hey, I'm ready. And I think I kind of surprised her. But so that's how I got started, briefly. My why would be I just wanted to start doing something for myself. I wanted to make a little bit extra money. Actually, I originally just wanted to make enough money to get a cleaning lady because I don't like to clean. And I liked I like helping people doing this better than I like cleaning. So I was like, I'll just see how much I can make. I figured, if I can make $400 a month, I was like, that was a big, huge goal to me. I didn't think I was going to come to money, anything more than that. And then like 3 months in, I made $400, and I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And I just rolled with it. And so I made Diamond in February, and I'm working to keep going with that. I just want to be able to, I originally, like I said, had small goals, and now I want a full-time paying career out of this, and so that my husband can retire from the Coast Guard in a few years. And hopefully I can be at least matching what he makes, and plus his retirement will be pretty golden. So that's
awesome. And
sort of
can you remind me of what your goals are again in terms of like Diamond and all that?
At this point, I mean, I would like to be 5-star at the end of the year and get elite. That's my big goal. It might come close. I'm hoping I can get 5 diamonds by then. I've got a few lined up, who are working hard towards it. So I need like 2 more who are going to commit to really making it, and we'll see what happens.
Cool.
So, but yeah, I'd like to just keep going and keep growing it and see what I can do to get my family out of being paycheck to paycheck, and just kind of really, I mean, we're comfortable now. I guess it's paycheck to paycheck, but we're comfortable. But I would like to be more than comfortable, and more than, not being like, oh, can we go out to eat? Can we do that? Can we buy this? I don't know. End of every 2 weeks, we're kind of, checking things and being like, is there still money in the bank? I don't know. So I'd like to be past that.
Right. Rightfully so. How much more would you need to be making for you to be past that?
I need to at least be doubling what I'm making right now. I need like another. So I need to. I'd like to get to at least, So I guess I need to get to at least $2,000 a month to be kind of comfortably paying off what we need to pay off and get going. But I mean, my goal is to be making. I mean, I would like to be at. I'm hoping to be at least 2,000 at the end of the year. I'm hoping to be working up to 1,000 a week by next year.
Cool.
I think that's a reasonable goal. I'm not really sure what the reasonable steps are, but that's where I'd like to head.
That is definitely a reasonable goal. As a 5-star coach, you should making $1,000 per week is kind of low as a 5-star. I mean, as a 5-star, you're going to have that second business center open as well, which is going to bring in at least your first couple of months an extra $200 to $300.
Mm-hmm.
So that right there is huge.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's cool. And I have my husband's account too. But right now I just have him at Emerald until I get the rest of my diamonds kind of situated. I was originally going to work on getting him the diamond sooner so that I could make 2-star sooner, but because 2 of my potential diamonds are on the same leg. But I realized if I hurry to make him diamond, I'm not setting myself up to have diamonds. So I think it's better for me to recruit under myself and fill in his tree towards the end of the year. Does that make sense?
Yeah. If you feel that you can confidently put it off like that and work on him more towards the end of the year, then that's totally fine, because at that point you already duplicated yourself in your second business center, you know. So then if you waited to duplicate yourself into his business center, yeah, that's totally doable.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks.
All right, Jess, I unmuted you. You are next, my doll.
All right. Sorry for all the distractions tonight. I came from a meeting with coaches and then came home, and Adam and all the guys were moving all my possessions out of the house. So
Oh, yeah, you're a busy woman.
going on right now. So yeah. So I guess when I first started, which was back I signed up end of August last year. And my plan from the get-go was to make this my full-time job, even though I wasn't really sure what was possible. I don't know, I trusted you and what you had done, and I believed that it could happen. And for me, I guess I get to the point where I'd been managing a Lululemon store, and it was just a pop-up, so I always knew it was just there for the summer. But while I was working there, the business is really amazing, and they give us so much freedom to make our own decisions that I basically realized that I could just never work for anyone else. I had gotten so used to, being the one making the decisions and, working with a team and not really having that hierarchy, I guess. We made decisions and stuff together, and, whatever I wanted to do, I could do basically. So I really liked that, and I realized that I just wasn't excited about ever working for someone else. So when I found this opportunity through you on Instagram, it just seemed like it was perfect. And plus, my background is in international community development. So I had my master's degree and a bachelor's degree, and my plan had been to do what I'd been doing the few years before this was, traveling the world and doing development work in impoverished communities and that sort of thing. And that's still where my passion is. My passion is in helping people in developing countries, but there's just absolutely no work in that field, especially where we live. So when I first started coaching, my original goal was to make enough so that I could stay at home, work from home, and I wanted to be able to stay, accountable to my own health and fitness, and I wanted to be able to help people. And then kind of as I got going, I saw all the potential with the business, and it made me realize that this is a way for me to pay off debt and to have the life that I've always wanted to have. For me, my dream would be to live on the beach in Nicaragua and just have, me and my family barefoot in the ocean every day and, picking our fruit straight from the tree to eat. And I don't know, I've just come to realize that I can have that life through coaching. We can have that freedom to travel. We have the freedom over our own time. We have the freedom, financially, well, we will eventually. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit about, why I got started and where I see it going. In terms of my goals, I want to be 3-star diamond by the end of this year, so by December 25th. And I want to get Adam's Business Center to diamond by July 31st of this year, which again might be hard because baby's due in just a little over 4 weeks, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, my goal is have 3-star diamond and to be making at least $3,000 a month by the end of the year consistently as well. And I want to be able to have 20 coaches in my own downline, 20 personally sponsored coaches, and then 10 personally sponsored coaches on Adam's line as well.
Cool. You're going to make it happen.
It's gonna happen.
You know it. That's awesome. Phenomenal goals, especially with having a little one coming in 4 weeks. Those are great goals. And, you know, you have that downtime where baby was a little rough, but, you know, like you totally are consistent. You are the epitome of good health and showing women how to be healthy while pregnant. It's so cool to see what you're doing and what you're documenting and how you're not afraid to share that with other people. Yeah, so I'm proud of you. Good job. You'll make those goals for sure.
I will.
Yes, you will. Totally. All right, guys. So before we wrap it up, I want to know, what questions do you have for me as a leader? Do you have any questions for me about business? Any questions for me about lifestyle, money, taxes? Do you have questions for other people, recommendations, anything? Now would be your time to ask.
If it's not too awkward to ask you, I would like to know how much you make a week, just so that I can kind of have something to work towards, you know, to kind of what you do. So I can, you know, have that life too.
Okay. Good question. So right now I'm making about $2,000 to $2,500 a week. Yep. So the highest I ever made in 1 week was 3,100. I made that, I think, back in the end of February. I think that was during the time of the Dash to Emerald group, which I want to do another one of those groups because, dude, our team exploded with that. Every single one of your teams did amazing during that time. So I want to do another one of those. And then, but yeah, so right now I'm making around $2,000 to $2,500 a week as almost a 6-star with about on average 20,000 volume points.
Okay.
So one thing that you want to take note of is wherever your volume points sit at, that can kind of dictate where your income is coming from. So like, say for instance, my volume points right now are about 20,000 volume points, team volume points per week. So that puts me at about a $2,000 paycheck. So if you wanted, let's say, a $3,000 paycheck, then each week, if you wanted a majority of that to come from your team, you would need to have 30,000 volume points. And that's possible. It's just building momentum within your team.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that.
You're very welcome. Who else? Carolyn?
Yeah, I kind of do. I'm not sure if this is awkward to ask too, but with as far as the right leg, left leg type thing, now that I'm directly below you, should I be seeing like volume from you on my left? I guess it is, because I'm on your left. Or is it kind of just the luck of the draw and you add to the right mostly and I won't see any of that? I'm just confused how that works.
The thing is I'm not quite sure where you fall in my left because, you know, like I added Tara, who you were under, before I really stopped placing people on my left leg. So I don't know if you fall in Tara's spot, which was building volume, and will build volume from the people in my downline who would have been under Tara, which would be under you. So I'm not sure if you fall in Tara's old spot or if you go down to the very bottom. So that's probably something I should look into for you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I was confused how that works.
Yeah.
I know James was asking me, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just kind of
Yeah.
going with the flow. He's like, so how's it going? I'm like, I don't know if it's doing anything. I don't know how to figure that out. I'm just kind of every week just checking the thing, you know.
I'll check for you. I'll find that out.
All right, thank you.
Danielle?
I was just going to say that when Misty fell off, all of her coaches fell right in the middle where she was. So she should have fallen right into Tara's, like just bumped right up to Tara's spot, and nothing else should have changed around it.
Cool. Okay.
At least that's what it looks like in my downline. It's, it's hard to tell, but that's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is definitely good to know. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, I was just going to say one thing really quick, just like a tip that I think is working really well for me, because I've been feeling like I haven't been accountable enough for my team, and I started on June 1st. I post like a 2 to 3 minute video in my group, my team page every day, and it's just like something small, like I talk about something small, and then I make them post below with like whatever, some sort of mini assignment, like the names of the people they're talking to, or what they took from their PD, or what they're going to delegate, or whatever. And I feel like it's really helped my girls like kind of jump back on board, because we've all had a really bad in April and May. And so I don't know if anybody else was feeling like sluggish the last few months, but that really helped my girls get back on board, and it's helped me stay more consistent too. So
cool.
And it only takes 5 minutes for me, and then I feel like I'm not like letting them down anymore,
All right. Awesome. I love that tip, and I just might start doing that myself. Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Carolyn, I'll double check too. I'll have Ann, my upline, look into my downline and see like if she could tell me like what kind of volume we might be able to expect you to start getting from that.
Okay.
So I'll ask her about that.
Sounds good. Thanks.
You're very welcome. Anyone else?
Can you hear me now?
Wait. Hello?
Whoa.
I couldn't make the sound come out.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I guess this is kind of like my strategy. Like now that I'm diamond, this is kind of like my strategy, and I just want to see what you think.
Okay.
Obviously maintain diamond status, but just keep building and building and building left. Which is my weak leg.
Okay.
So keep building my weak leg so that I can cycle, and then obviously, keep recruiting so that I can get as many gold chips as possible. So like right now I have 2 girls coming to diamond. I'm tired. 2 girls coming to summit. Both are emerald. One's on my left, one's on my right. Sam and Ashley. So I'm really thinking that after summit, like they're going to get to diamond quickly. So I'd at least like to get my 2-star. That's why that goal is within 6 months. And then I just want to keep building up that weak leg and recruiting new coaches. Would you say at this point where I'm at, that's a good strategy?
I would say so, yes.
Okay.
Especially, if you have where your strong leg is producing a lot more volume than your weak leg is.
That's what I'm in right now, and I'm like sometimes I'm cycling good, but then other times I'm not at all. Yeah. And I have so many, I didn't really understand the whole concept of building up your weak leg, and I placed a couple of my coaches just in the wrong spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, been there, done that several times. Just I would continue to build your strong leg or your weak leg. I would do that for sure. If it means that you're going to cycle more, especially, like people hold rank as such, like, oh, I need to get to 5-star. But in all honesty, though, if you're 5-star and you have like 10, let's say 60,000 volume points on your strong leg, and then maybe 10,000 on your weak leg, your 5-star diamond doesn't mean diddly crap because your income level sucks. Like, you know, so yeah, definitely I would focus on building up your week.
Okay.
All right, Amy.
Okay. All right, kind of on that same token, if you don't really have anybody, I'm pretty much building my legs on my own at this point. And so my problem is trying to figure out how to, you know, my strong leg, quote unquote, is not really always my strong leg anymore. It's flip-flopping a lot. And that's okay, but I mean, at this point, I still need to kind of balance both of my legs. I need to have enough coaches on each leg, but I don't know how to maximize cycling because I feel like, you know, I can't cycle as much as other people might just because I can't. I mean, I'm using up my points, so somehow it's all working out because my legs are like, I mean, they flip-flop on almost a daily, weekly basis. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, because you make more money in the long run if one side is stronger, I mean, has more volume than the other, right? Just by the way it works.
I mean, ideally, they say if you have a 1-to-1 ratio, which is somebody who kind of bounces between one leg being strong and then the next time it's weak, they say that either that or a 2-to-1 ratio is good. So if you are at a 1-to-1 ratio, that's A-okay. That's
all right.
Yeah, that's still, I mean, yeah, that's a lot better than, I mean, there's some people out there who have like a 10-to-1 ratio. Like,
okay.
So yeah, a 1-to-1 ratio is very good.
Okay, I just want, you know, I wasn't totally clear on that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I have. Sometimes it's very sporadic where one is a little bit higher than the other. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep, good question. You're very welcome. All right, cool, guys. So that wraps up our Diamond Call for this evening. Thank you so much for every one of you guys for being on the call. I really appreciate it. I'll definitely post the recording later. Okay. Thank you, Danny. So, yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Anywho, yeah, thank you guys so much for being on the Dash to Diamond, Jesus. All over the place. Thank you for being on our Diamond Call. Now we're going to go ahead and kick off the Team Tubby to Tone call. So give me a second just to situate myself here. Let's see. Give me a minute and then we'll get going.